Okay, so for those of you who are in my guild, you'll recognize this sound. That's my timer for 5 minutes. Now, this is a test, again, so test number 3, I suppose. My first, test number 0, which is a shot I did while walking through the Humber College Arboretum, ended up being at 1 gigabyte and around 5 minutes. Considering that it says I have 84 minutes, and, let's see, 84 minutes and 14 gigabytes, so 5 times 14. Oh, that's pretty close, actually. So that's at 720 HD. What's up for today? Okay, well, I think I'd like to spend some time working on those feat sets that I talked with Dave about last night. Dave is my best friend. It's very weird. Yes, Dave and Dave. We make a very interesting pair. It actually kept me up and I couldn't sleep, so I stayed up playing an incredibly difficult game called Fate of the World, which I think is very difficult partially because they don't tell you a lot about what you're actually doing in the game, and that what seems to be apparent is actually not. Like, for instance, there's an ability called Tobin tax, which, if you may remember this, that's a German, I think it was a German chancellor, suggested that they tax rich countries to help pay for like issues and functions to help battle global warming. Well, in the game, the Tobin tax gives you $100 billion every 5 years. So, like, you get to play a card that is the Tobin tax, and it's $100 million every 5 years, which is really, compared to the GDP of most countries, that's peanuts. So, that's nothing, the amount that you would expect it to be. But anyway, it says it causes unhappiness, but it doesn't say how much. But I'm pretty certain it produces about 3 points of unhappiness. You get these hearts that are happiness. And if a region ever runs out of hearts, the region rejects you as a leader. I find it very difficult to balance it off, because it's very difficult to do 4 or more items per turn that will increase the happiness of a region, particularly once you've ended up deploying certain technological advancements. So, yeah, a little irritating that they don't quite explain to you the full impact of some of the abilities, but whatever. I'm going to try to give them some feedback. They asked for it through Gmail. But, yeah, game design. You really kind of have to tell the players what they're doing. You don't just kind of say, well, if you do this, then something's going to happen in the background, and we're not going to tell you what that something is. Because that really cheats, in my opinion, the player out of being able to rationally decide what they're going to do. And that's something I think is very important for a good game, at least a good strategy game, which is this is what it's playing out as. That you should be able to figure out what you're doing and why. Yeah, well, got a minute and 20 seconds left. Oh, that's not much. I'm going to be experimenting with the uploads to determine whether or not it's the uploading program. I used Picasa last night. I'd like to use Picasa in general because it's a nice interface in my opinion. But this time I'm just going to use the scanner and video wizard, I believe, that comes with Windows, and see if that will produce a smaller file size, or if it's in a different file format. I'm surprised that Picasa would import it and convert it to a movie file, but maybe that's just how it works. We'll see when I upload it tonight. And yeah, I'll probably be posting this on YouTube again. Probably don't get many followers just for me just generally rambling over about life. I really should think about a particular topic or something I should talk about. You know, the reason why people come back to particular websites is because the person's talking about something and they're not just talking about nothing. Well, I could talk about rationality, but that's something that I think a lot of people get bored about. Anyway, it'll be random stuff, I guess, for the foreseeable future until I latch on to a particular topic that interests me. And as you're about to hear, that's the timer for 5 minutes. That's the timer I usually set for my raid groups because no one likes to, well, it keeps everyone in line. Anyway,